It's kind of a drizzly, crummy, gray day here in Chesapeake, Virginia, but I'm out here at Ipswich. I've got the new trail truck with me. It's the Gmade Sawback. I traded my axial Yeti for it. It was really tough to give up the Yeti. I love that truck, but my boy's into crawling right now, or scale trucks, and so I wanted to get another one so that we could go out and scale together. So I'm out here, I'm giving it its first test run, haven't run it at all yet, and we'll see how it performs. Alright, so a couple things that I'm noticing already about the Sawback. First off, these tires are pretty terrible. There's no bite. They don't grab really on anything, it seems like. The suspension is really stiff, and so I think I'm just going to go in here. It's a leaf suspension, so I think I'm going to go in here and take out one of these extras that they have in here, right here, and see if that'll make it a little bit softer. It needs some weight added to it. It just bounces all over. It's really lightweight. And so when you're driving, if you hit anything, it just kind of jumps around. So put a little bit more weight in there. I don't get a whole lot of travel either. I'm noticing that the suspension hits on something pretty quick. So it doesn't seem to be a whole lot of, I mean, if you lift it, the whole truck wants to lift. You don't get a whole lot of articulation in these arms. So yeah, well, we'll keep working on it, and overall it seems like a fun truck to drive. I bought it used, so on the inside it's running a Losi brushless motor. Here, let me just take the top off. Just got this Losi censored brushless motor in here on a Tekin ESC. The ESC is not programmed to have drag brake. I need to look and see what settings I have for drag. But the other thing is the reverse. It's not an instant reverse, instant on. You've got to do some kind of, when you're driving it, if you use the brakes, I'm trying to reverse, you've got to do a tap and then reverse works. But that tap isn't very, it doesn't work first time. It kind of works when it wants to, so I'll be looking into that. But overall, I mean, it's up and running. It doesn't have a whole lot of movement here. It's sitting, that leaf spring sits right on that steering link. It's kind of interesting. So anyway, I'll just keep looking into this, see what little changes I might need to make, and we'll get it dialed in and just right for my boy. All right, so I'm just concluding my first run with the Gmade Sawback. Again, this is a used model. It isn't coming straight out of a box, so my impressions are probably different than somebody that built it box stock and took it out on the course. I got this used from somebody, had a motor and ESC and stuff already installed. Still seems to be running stock tires, and the leaf springs are on kind of a medium setting, and they're way too tight, so the wheels are very rigid. Really, the name of the game for this truck right now is constantly stuck. I was getting stuck on everything. The ride height isn't great. It's got this skid plate on the bottom. It's got wheels on it that I thought was going to help it slide over things, but no go. It doesn't slide over things. It gets stuck. Other than that, I mean, it seems fun enough. I need to work on the ESC because right now there's no drag brake, so I'm having to manually apply brake. But the other issue is that reverse has a delay, or you have to like kick the reverse and then try and get it. But it doesn't work every time. It's hit or miss, and then you go to kick it again, and then the reverse works, and it goes flying backwards at full speed. And the full speed in reverse is actually faster than the highest speed forward. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit of tuning and messing with that. But really happy with the trade. Again, sad to see the Yeti go, but this seems like it'll be a really fun truck, and I love how scale it is. And that my boys will be able to put figures in there without having to do any modification to them, because there's a full floorboard and seat for them to sit in. So anyway, that's kind of a first impression after a first run. I'll get it back to the garage and try and dial it in a little better.